Let's get ready to rumble! I cracked.
Fucking buffer would love it.
That was
great.
That was good,
I
dude.
cracked.
I'll give you that.
That was so good.
That was good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Moretako Encounter. You have heard me re-enter pubescence. It's been a great day today. We're glad to have you here with us. We're going to be rocking some local life talk all over the board. You know what it's like when you visit with us. So I know Joe had a story, kind of a thing that he wanted to share with us. I'm just going to be chilling with my frozen, rock-solid beverage today,
It's fine.
and I'm going to ride the wave.
Get your
It
Seagram's
happens.
escapes
there's
on
more.
that
You
one.
just dig
We'll
in.
get it. We're
So
always-
I was watching the old TikTok today, and this one analyst, I forget his name. He's got long hair. He's pretty ugly, but
That does
Yeah.
not narrow it
he's
down,
just
dude.
an ugly dude.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not good looking.
I'm already
Clearly,
jealous.
this is not a judgment-free zone.
But
No, it's
here's the
not.
thing: I'm jealous because he has hair.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I don't think you could dog him.
I mean, he
Take
makes
it back.
he makes more
Take it
money
back.
than me.
I don't know his
All
name.
right, fair enough.
Take it back. He may not
I
be
take
good
it
looking,
back.
but he has hair and
Yeah,
money.
I take it back. I don't know your name, guy.
He has me 2-1.
Yeah.
Maybe 2-0.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Carry the night. Whatever. What are you doing? back
Everything's
there?
okay. I never know what he's doing.
Dude,
We're
what
okay.
are you-
Back
give
there.
Me that. Give me that.
Clearly,
Can you hand me that?
it did not work.
Okay.
Jeez.
So I'm going to dive in. Eric, I need your full attention for this because you're going to love it. We were talking about, so we've got
You guys are a wreck.
NFL's coming. The combine's coming up. There was some Justin Fields talk this week. So some football's been swirling up again since the Super Bowl. That died down. But they were talking about some of the highest paid players in NFL history. Okay.
Our boy's gonna like this one.
He's going to love it.
He's gonna really like
Number
this one.
11. Number 11
Of
on the list.
All time.
All time.
All time.
Grossing $232 million
I already
doll
know
hairs.
Can we emphasize on the
heard-
gross part?
I
Yeah.
heard Skip Bayless talk about that this week.
Yeah. 232 million doll hairs. Our boy, Kirk Cousins.
I mean, for his fitness alone, I would give him that. But
Yeah, I mean,
I-
that's
but-
a lot of money
So-
for a guy that is 1-5 in
so
the playoffs.
this goes back to our
1-3 in the playoffs.
1-4. Sorry, 1-4.
One was in Washington. That
Mhm,
barely counts. He's
mhm.
1-3 in Minnesota. Yes.
Correct. But to be the 11th highest paid player of all time, that's a lot of
That's
cash.
hard. That's hard though because it is such a weighted scale.
Highest paid position in the NFL.
All 11 are either modern or current era players because that's just the scaling of money. Like Barry Sanders, in my opinion, is the greatest running back of all time. You'd have him in a conversation with Jim Brown and Walter Payton.
I was just about to say Walter Payton's
And-
still
and
getting
you-
paid, I think.
But
Yeah.
I think
you're,
his family's still getting
you
paid.
have
Sweetness, bro.
guys like that, and they were getting piddly dink.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite sports things every year is
Say it.
Bobby
Bobby
Bonilla
Bonilla,
Day.
yes.
Bobby Bonilla
Yes.
Day.
What is that, July 5th? Something
I
like
don't
that?
even know.
I think
the
it's
date,
July 5th.
But I celebrate with the man that was
Or
smart
first,
enough to get
somewhere around
paid
$1 million a year?
multiple. It's over $1 million. I think it's like
1.5
1 point
or
something
some shit.
every single year
Until
like-
he's like
until he dies.
I think
something
until he dies.
stupid. Dude, that's a great. I love that.
awesome contract.
I love
It was like 85 years or some shit.
So you
Yeah,
got,
it's a winner right there.
but Bobby Bonilla's contract was probably on there $100 million.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like things are different.
correct. But they said he's going to be our boy Kirk is going to be a top 10 player of all time for grossing.
I
The
was
amount
gonna
of
say,
money he
you
has.
need
in
to
his career.
really go into
And
detail what you meant by
and he'll get paid.
Yeah, top 10. Yeah, sorry.
He's gonna get paid.
Yeah, I mean,
He
so
will.
he was in the last year of his deal with the Vikings. Are they going to re-sign him? Probably. I see them re-signing him
They
and
probably
draft.
have to.
Yeah, and then they're
Yeah,
going to
who's
draft
in-
the quarterback.
But I was gonna say, are they going to draft JJ McCarthy?
Oh, that's
rough.
damn. That's actually
No.
But that's what I'm
a
saying.
really good person.
That's what I'm saying because I think he's going to either go there or he's going to go to San Diego with his boy. with
San Diego.
Or I'm sorry,
German.
my bad. L.A.
I heard it's German.
I'm sorry, it's L.A. now.
Yeah,
My
sorry.
bad. I'm sorry to offend anybody in fucking L.A.
Well, what's offensive is that they moved to LA.
I
That's
know.
what's
Yeah, yeah.
offensive.
They're forever going to
San
be
Diego's
San
a
Diego to me.
gorgeous city.
They're
I
gonna be
love
forever
I
San
San
still,
Diego.
I still call them the Oakland Raiders. That stuff is out of control. The Commanders is probably the worst team name in sports history.
They wanted to change it back.
They should.
There's a petition going on to
They
change it
should.
back.
But I think, I don't know. It's crazy. It kind of puts things in perspective if I am coming from a Bears fan of what they're going to do with Justin Fields. And I don't know. I'd be pissed off if I paid my quarterback $200 million and he's won me one playoff game.
If Justin Fields goes...
Skip Bayless. This is literally the point that he...
This isn't the ugly guy I was talking about, by the way.
If Justin Fields ends up in Atlanta, and I'm not a Bears fan by any means, but if he goes to Atlanta, I'm buying a Bijan Robinson jersey. And I'm going to be...
he talked about it on his pod, so, who knows? But
Athletics are complicated. You take some all-around talented players. Like, I will still argue to this day, and you're just using your football IQ to do this stuff. Phillip Rivers is more talented than Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger probably combined.
Yep,
totally true.
And Phillip Rivers made one AFC championship game against the Patriots fairly early in his career, and that was a wrap. Minnesota in the playoffs is chokeopolis, and it's not always Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying he's the one that pushes them over the edge, but you got 22 guys on the field.
Yeah,
you got 22 guys
on
the
on
field.
one guy.
Your Kirk,
like Trent Dilfer won a freaking Super Bowl.
Your Kirk Cousins argument is obviously my Matt Ryan argument. That's
true.
You can't fault a guy for putting up numbers. He's top 10 in 3 categories, like we discussed: all-time passing yards, completions, and touchdowns. You can't fault somebody for putting up those kind of numbers and never winning the championship.
Choked.
You can fault somebody for
28-3
for that.
Yeah, but do you fault him or do you give praise to Brady?
Or do you put shade on Mr. Shenanigans?
I was just about to say, or do you dog somebody who keeps losing in the Super Bowl as a coach?
I'm going to tell you, that's a very layered answer.
There's so many questions that we just asked.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like, if we're going to give credit where credit's due as far as an athlete and what he's deserved, okay, we'll give him, because Kirk Cousins is probably top 15 in all said categories. I mean, he has
all
good
time.
numbers.
He may not be there, but he's near.
We'd have to look
Matt
at
Ryan
that.
had some duration. Kirk
He
Cousins
did.
at the end of this contract will be there.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Kirk Cousins is a good player. You put
top 15 in the league.
Let's be real. You put
15.
him on a team that has a great offensive
Don't
line.
do it. Oh, he did it. I can't believe he just did it.
Man.
10. Listen,
I don't know.
Listen,
If you talk about top 10 dances on a plane shirtless, I give him number 1.
listen.
Nobody
great-
beats
that's
him.
a
There's
great
something
point.
to
Good
be said.
abs.
There's
I'm not gonna
something-
lie. His abs are pretty good for a quarterback.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad.
You-
I don't have them.
Wide
neither.
receiver,
I'm
the
not gonna
most
hate on him.
the most diva. Well, between that and cornerbacks, most diva
Well, that's why
filled
they
position
Go up and
in
down the field.
probably
together.
any sport, unless you're LeBron James.
I think he just got fouled.
King Flop. Oh, King Flop, dude.
Thank
that
you,
dude
buddy.
sucks so
Thank you.
much ass. It's not even
See,
funny.
don't get me started on that.
Yeah, sorry. You know what?
I don't want to know what that looks like,
You
but
know what?
anyway,
Hang on. Before we get into that, I think what we're talking about, all these different people like we just named, right? And do you think like guys like LeBron James, with him being the crybaby that he is like that how he was like brought up? Is that a raise? Like how he was raised?
I don't
it's
know
a-
about that.
Well,
You turn into just a crybaby bitch out of nowhere, like
I want to go somewhere with that, but I'll let you answer first, and
I
then
think
I'm gonna,
he's
I'm gonna dive into
spoiled.
that.
I think he's spoiled. So like,
there's more. I want to get into more of that. 'Cause I have some other
I
stuff
think
to
I
talk
think
about.
you and I are kind of thinking
we can
the
go
same thing.
deep down the athletics road, obviously, but like when you are a quote unquote prodigy and you're told that you're a prodigy, we talked about this a few podcasts ago. We were talking about Patrick Mahomes and how important it was that he stayed with his high school girlfriend and stuff like that, and how the culture that you have when you're a youth athlete kind of dominoes into adulthood, right? When you're deemed a prodigy and you're coming out of high school right to the NBA, but people have been watching your high school videos on SportsCenter, that blows up an ego. You know the money is coming and all of these things. And so you have people catering to your every wish and whim. And that sends you down 2 roads, both of which you're a baby. but one of the roads is you're a Kwame Brown baby, and the other is you're a LeBron James baby. Like, you are a baby, but you're either going to be a sucky baby or like those early 2000s like digital like dancing babies with like rocket launchers.
Was that
and
Ally
stuff
McBeal?
like
Yeah, I was just gonna say Ally McBeal, baby.
like
Oh.
stuff like that, you
Yeah.
know? So like
I'm
you're
gonna
still
put
a
that-
baby.
I'm putting that in this
But
video.
everybody's
for
like-
sure.
Everybody's like, objectively, it's a pretty good baby.
Yeah.
Well,
What were you going to say, Nico?
no, Kwame Brown, first of all, I have to get mad at him because he played with two of the best players of all time. I believe he played with Kobe and Jordan. I want to say
In Washington,
he was with Jordan in Washington, and I think he was with Kobe in LA.
did he play with Jordan in Washington? I mean, it
I'm
was
pretty
close.
sure he was very young. Either way,
Yeah.
you're with two of the best of all time, and you still fizzle out. I could be wrong on that, but I'm
See,
I'm
because
I'm
some people
pretty
have
sure
the
he played
it,
with. I'm yeah,
and he doesn't have the it.
no, and I think what. So we have discussed as far as coaching and upbringing and stuff like that. I feel like us as a generation, we tend to. I go back to the participation award. You show up, and they give you an award. You show up, and they're like, "Oh, as long as you do a bare minimum, we're going to give you a trophy at the end of the year." But when you
Not my teams,
no, that's what I'm
but
saying.
other people's.
That's what I'm
teams,
saying. Like
sure.
I have
Yeah.
no problem with at a young age because there's a certain point where
you got to have some encouragement.
yes,
There's got to be balance.
yeah, there is a level. If you have a program that has 5 to 13 years old, let's just say that's a huge range.
Mhm.
So let's say the 5 to 9 year olds, cool, give them trophies because that's something to work for. That's something that cool. I get a trophy. I played the sport and I tried it out and I finished all year long. That's cool for them. But at a certain point when it becomes competitive, you can give that participation award trophy, but give an MVP a bigger trophy. Give the most improved a bigger trophy. Give the best defense player a bigger trophy. It gives them something to work for because if I showed up and I didn't put in that work and I just got this little dinky thing and you two got great trophies because you guys outworked me, guess what? Next year, if I have a fire, I want those.
Yeah.
I think,
And I think it creates a good competitive level. And I think we got away from that. And I think that's where we are as a community right now, where it's just like one of those things where you create people where they just want to show up and get the bare minimum and they want to be rewarded for that.
I have a hypothesis as to the origin of that breakdown, but I'd like to hear each of your hypotheses about the breakdown of that and where it starts or how that process you think goes. Where do you think that the breakdown of where in the, because it's been in our lifetime.
Yeah.
It's definitely our generation.
So where did that shift happen? How did that break down? Whether you want to go athletically or whatever, move from competition to pure participation, or a massive divide between the two at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes. I mean, I don't know when that shift happened, but it's funny because you see it in not just sports. I mean, you see it in the workplace, right? Like,
yes,
100%.
yes. When it
It's-
comes to reviews, when it comes to
Yeah,
bonuses
yeah.
and raises, yes.
And I think we were on the cusp of where the majority, like, I don't need the praise, I don't need the accolades to know I'm doing a good job. I don't need my boss to call me like and you know trying to like, you're doing a great job, Joe. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't need that to know that I'm doing a good job. It's like that Walter Payton quote: "If you're good at something, you'll tell everyone. If you're great at something, they'll tell you."
Yes.
Like, you just giving me a employee of the month, that doesn't do anything for me. But our generation now, they need that stuff and
To show up.
And I'm going to give an example even what we were talking about in the car when we were going to the event today. A friend of ours had some issues with some sports things and whatever, and got some messages anonymously calling him out for the way that he was coaching. And it was basically that. Like, it was basically, you gave all these other people these I don't say privileges, but these
Opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities. Thank you. These opportunities, and not my kid. Like, does your kid suck? Like, does your kid know their role? And it also boils down back to like the parents then, right? So the kids are one thing. The kids are a product of their parents, and which scares me. But if my kid is sucking at something, or they're not the, my girls cheer. Let's use that for example, right? My oldest daughter, she's not going to be a flyer. she knows that's not her role. She knows that she is going to be a base. So she has accepted that is her role, and she's going to kick ass at that thing. But if the parents of those kids are not having those same conversations, that's when you're building this. You're really just building a Karen, is what you're doing. You're building that Karen. But at what point did those parents get like that? Fuck if I know. But they need to find it, and they need to figure it out, because it's not fair to everyone else when they're trying to do things the right way, and they are doing things the right way, and these parents are still being the way that they are, and now teaching this generation to get there. I don't know. It makes me nervous what the NFL is going to look like in 20 years when these kids are afraid to even get touched on the field without crying.
That's
when they see Patrick Mahomes.
That's why they brought out flag football in the Olympics.
Yeah, so
because it's getting soft.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I don't know when it started. I don't know how it started. I wish it would go away. I wish parents would be more understanding of sports and how it works, and realize that it's not about just their kid. It's about a team. It's a team effort. And that the coaches are doing the best that they can in those scenarios, and the parents should support the coaches. Obviously, unless the coach is being a total douche, and that's a different scenario. We're not talking through that. We're talking about legitimate stuff. And if that's the case, and the parents need to get on board, and hell, if someone's got to put them in their place. I'm going to be honest with you. The guy today sitting next to me was very frustrating. Watching 9-year-olds play basketball, and I'm all about being competitive. I'm a very competitive person, and I think all of us are, right? We're all competitive people. Like, I get that. But you and the other coach were very understanding of one another. Like, this is teaching opportunities. This is the first time a lot of these girls have played basketball, and the refs would make a call, and this dude's like, arms up in the air, and he's freaking out. And I'm like, but the coaches are dealing with it. Like, you and the other coach were like, oh, no, it's Purple's ball. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Red's ball, or vice versa. And he's sitting over there with his ear pierced at the top, just real upset.
Sold.
Yeah, and I'm like, ooh, you are a male Karen. What's the name for? Is it a Kyle?
Kevin. It's a Kevin.
Kevin?
It's a Kevin.
And I'm like, this dude's got to go. Like, I'm like, I look over and I'm talking to my wife, and she's like, shh. I mean, I was being too loud.
Did you hear the blonde coach?
No.
During the game, though?
No.
Well, that's tough.
Oh, I need to hear that too. But yeah, like, it's guys like that, like, yeah, he's competitive, and he's probably doing the right thing for his kids, but maybe he's being, on the flip side, maybe he's being too hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot. I think you're right when it comes. I think coaching has a lot to do with it. A few years ago, I watched my nephew at a JV football game. They were pounding this team 55-0. I mean, they were just taking them. There was about 5.5, 6 minutes left in the game. The other team's coach, they were getting pounded so bad that he called the game. What is that teaching our youth?
Yeah,
you are showing our kids, and I'm gonna kind of fast forward a little bit, and I'm kind of jumping stories here, but that resonated with me. So a few years later, I got it.
Resonated with you.
Yeah.
There you go. What just happened?
He said it resonated with him.
Oh, it's resonated?
Resonated.
I would probably say resonated too.
Yeah, I threw a G in
there.
there.
Bro, I'm not a freaking English major. Yeah. I move boxes, bro.
I barely speak English.
Yeah.
I'm in logistics.
But right when I said it, I'm like, Eric's going to call me. I saw Eric, and I'm just like, he's going to catch me on it. So but either way. But what I was getting at is, fast forward a little bit. We're getting, I coach youth football, and we're getting pounded in the championship, a game in which we shouldn't have been there. But we're there, and we're losing 19-0 late in the game, and it was about our kids just getting the end zone. You know what? We had a good year. Why don't we end on a good note? So I'm in the huddle with these kids, because at that age, we're in the huddle with them. We're calling the plays. I mean, they're so little that you got to kind of show them what they're doing. So there's this one kid we used all year round, and I did a sweep with him. He made 4 kids miss, and he leaped in the end zone. And you would have thought that he was leaping for the Super Bowl title. Just the way he jumped in there and the way he celebrated. I jumped up in there myself. We're down 19-6 at this point, and I thought that the way I reacted, you would have thought we won the game. Mm-hmm. They got the ball back. They scored right away. I mean, now we're down 26-7 after we got the extra point on that. So at that point, I'm trying to show our kids, we're not going to win this game, but we're not quitting either. I'm going to call every time out. I'm going to end on a good note. But here's the thing. We are not going to quit, because one day you kids are going to be in life, and you guys are going to be pushed up. Your backs are going to be against the wall. You're not going to have a chance to get that job in the boardroom. You're not going to have that chance to get that promotion over the next person. You're not going to have that chance. You're going to deal with adversity, and I want those kids to realize I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to fight hard, because guess what? I have failed before, but if I fail now, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to keep fighting. So
teaching them that.
Yeah, yes, teaching moments.
So I think at young ages, I'm going to put them in positions where there is a kid, I swear he has 2 left feet, but you know what? I'm still going to use him. You know why? Because he wants to play that position, and I have put him in positions where if you get this extra point or you get this 2-point conversion, you go up by 1. If you miss, you lose by 1. But you know what? When you get in high school, you're not going to be scared of that moment.
Have you asked him whether he'd rather have arms or legs? Because if he has 2 left feet, maybe he'd prefer to have both his arms. I'm just wondering.
You're right, but and I will go, if he had 2 arms, somebody would have carried him in the end zone. His teammate would have carried him. But I guess that's my point, is that when we're as coaches, as trainers, whatever we're doing, don't we want to teach our youth and the young to just deal with adversity?
Yeah.
If we're handing them everything growing up, they're going to expect things in the workforce to be handed to them.
100%.
Which is
and
very
that's where we're
evident
at
right
now.
now. It is evident right now. Yeah,
100%.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I am going to say, so I'm going to speak to I have 2 hypotheses, and you both fed into them, and they might even come across as a little controversial.
Yes.
But I want to.
Can we debate?
I want to dig into this a bit more, but we're going to take a break. We'll check you guys in a few minutes. Next video, whenever you guys click back, we got a little bit of cliffhanger going on here, and we'll see you guys next time on the Moretako Encounter.